Hey, good morning, loves. I know I've been up earlier than this. I have been up since about 6 a.m. typing up notes, studying for some training. I'm getting ready to go into just looking at some stuff, but sending out invoices, trying to get. I've been waking up early, trying to make sure I get everything settled before I go into training. Um, I'm gonna let you all. It's 7:30 right now. I've been up since like 5:45. And I think I'm just so disrespectful because I started sending out, I'd be forgetting and sending out text messages and saying you could check your email, you got this. So I guess I just be forgetting time. But I've been waking up really early, which is a good thing that I've started that habit of getting up early because normally I cannot. But I think it helps my metabolism too. You know, I think it helps my metabolism. Hey Miss Gina, hey Miss Willa, because normally when it starts to get cold, it is so hard for me to get up. It is, but I've been waking up real early. But of course, I go to sleep early too, kind of early. Anyways, I wanted to get on. Let's see, 7. Yeah, I got to be off here by 9 because got some I got some things I got to do. Um, I see Miss Gina, Willie, Kimberly, Jamal. Um, let's talk about this. I know I'll be trying to talk about a lot of other things and get us incorporated into talking about other stuff, but let's talk about this particular thing because we always talked about the Young Dobbs case, right? And I know I've heard people say, well, let's talk about, and I love talking about a plethora of, be quiet, a plethora of other subjects, of course. But I think this one is you know, we should talk about this. Was justice served in the Young Dobbs case, or at, are we just beginning? Let's talk about it. Okay, I'm gonna start letting other people start getting the notifications. Okay, I'm gonna start letting other people start getting the notifications. Okay. Are you all doing all right this morning? It's probably not going to be that much more until, people are getting ready for work and all of that good stuff. So, let's talk about this. Of course, we know that um, Justin Johnson, of course, we all watched it together. He had a trial, right? And we know just at this point, as far as the public knows, right? As far as we know, Cornelius Smith is supposed to be sentenced. Hernandez Govan will decide on if he's going to go to trial or if he's going to take a plea deal. And it's interesting to know. I mean, will justice be served at that point, or are we just beginning? We know that in the trial, Big Juke's name kept coming up as being one of um, the payors. Okay, one of the people that actually paid for the hit. Does it start there and end with what we have now? you know I think in the beginning a lot of people was pretty confused, because unfortunately for Straight Drop really wanted to believe that he would get by with what he did, although now he's had a couple people to try and tell him the right things, but in his mind, because he had the wrong type of people who were afraid that if he did plead out, he would have to tell their involvement in this situation. Um, Hold on, you all. Let me see something. He would have to tell their involvement in this situation. Um, they encouraged him to hold on, you all. Let me see something. Hold on. Okay. Okay, it's not ready yet. They encouraged him. I'm sorry, you all, that I stopped right in the midst of that. I had something to come through. I was like, I need to be consistently being updated on that situation. Um, so we had people to encourage him because they didn't want him to divulge their part in this situation to um give him false hope, okay? Um, to amp him up, you know. They did everything that they could. Straight drop is just like a kid, right? And the reason I say that is because everybody that has children know that, like with kids, if they think that they're getting away with something, they get this false sense of uh what's the word I'm looking for? They just get this false sense of not entitlement, but I don't know, this false sense of they get this boost as if I'm untouchable, right? And so we saw them paying people within the penal facility, within the jail, to bring them drugs. Because remember, I broke in my members probably last year or earlier this year, um, um, about that's why I say whoever don't have the platinum need to get it. When they caught him, okay, it had to have been late last year because it was before Juke was taken out. When they did a shakedown in his cell, they found a plethora of drugs. Okay, they was already packaged up and ready to go out. So what he was doing was he was selling drugs, and I mean heavy drugs. He had them in his cell. He was selling them in the facility. And when they did a shakedown, of course, he had already had them packaged up and ready to go out. And so I brought that up. Okay, that's the member stuff though. That's the type of stuff we be putting in the members. Okay. I brought that up to say this. They was consistently making him think that you are untouchable, right? He still had that mentality. I'm untouchable. I'm gonna get off. They lacing me up with drugs. I mean, he just selling dope in the jail, right? Um, and somebody was bringing that in to him that had a connection to the people on the outside that gave him a false sense of we run in the jail facility. Because see, I saw a lot of stupid motherfuckers on here too that wanted to discredit me, talking about, yeah, them police is letting them run that jail. I had to tell them though. See, they get mad at me because I called them out. I had to tell them, motherfucker, the sheriff's office and the police department are two different entities. Okay. The Memphis Police Department is handling his investigation. The Shelby County Sheriff's Office handles the jail. They handle cases too, but they're not handling Straight Drop's case. He's just housed in the jail that the Sheriff's Department happens to be over, which is at 201 Poplar. Okay. And so, anyways, I like giving knowledge though. Okay. When you fuck with me, I have to get arrogant on you to remind you. Okay. And so, anyways, Straight Drop, he had the drugs packaged up, and he had them ready to go out. And so that was one way of making him think that he didn't know the difference, that we got the police up under control, because a lot of people still believe that. Even with Straight Drop being gotten, him being convicted, the judge closed the book on him. Um, and it gave him a sense of that. I'm selling drugs in the jail. I got the girls because they bought. See, this was in the members too. It's an old one, and they had two jailers. Okay, and somebody on the outside. Okay, I'm sure she a fan of the show. Um, the unfortunately two of them was able to be bought. Okay, Jesus Christ. I'm looking at my text messages. Hey, it be folks up early looking. I don't care. All right. Anyways, he cool though. He a good guy. Anyways, what was I saying? I done lost my train of thought. Um, y'all, what was I saying before he sent me that text message? Who was I? I was talking about Straight Drop. I forgot. Um, but anyways, have we? He really threw me off. Was justice served in the Young Dogs case, or are we just beginning? Okay. A lot of people think. Oh, I was going to say about the girls. So they was able to buy a couple girls, of course, within the jail. And let me just say this: most of the jailers are good jailers, especially the old heads that have been there a long time. And they've been there a long time, and they can't be bought out. This is their career. This is what they have provided for their families and all of that good stuff. But they've had a lot of new ones had started to come in who does not have a good sense of, not all of them, but a lot of them, a good sense of they don't care, right? And I think the issue has been that when they used to get caught bringing in you know drugs and stuff like that within the jail, um when they got caught doing stuff like that, they would file charges, and then they would have to go do some federal time, a few years, depending on how big the crime was, right? But I think now what happens is they quit and they don't pursue it for some reason. I think they're gonna have to get back to pursuing it. Okay. Not just firing them and not just letting them quit. Even if they quit, we're gonna put you up under investigation as it used to be, and then you're gonna be convicted, and then your ass gonna go do some time. Okay. So some girls were able to be bought, and I heard that these girls were not working there. One of them got real bold and quit. Okay, she got real bold because they started her business. She started going with somebody over there, one of them rappers. Okay, and she went and they got her two BBLs. Yeah, hey, I told y'all I gets the T. They got her two BBLs, and when she was caught down there bending over, see, she thought that she was out of the way of a camera, right? She was out of the way of the camera, and they caught her bent over after she got came back to work after she got her BBL, shaking her butt. Okay, she was shaking her butt, and she was twerking for Straight Drop. It was two of them. Well, one of them went on and quit. She was having her somebody in CMG was having her house built from the ground, and she started a business. And when they had parties, any of them that was affiliated with that label, from what I'm told, they allowed her to set up her business inside of the party. And, she was on cloud nine. I hear all of that has stopped now, though. So she went ahead and quit before they fired her. The other girl couldn't just quit like that, right? And I think all of that is crumbling too. But I said that to say this: he was getting drugs. They was paying people to bring him in drugs. They was bringing him in phones before the feds found out and continuously allowed them to bring him in phones just because they was listening to him. And he had girls twerking. So of course he had this arrogance. They would be able to say, "Bruh, look at all we doing. We told you. We got this. You ain't nothing gonna happen to you." So when he would have people that knew the truth, like his previous attorney that had told him, take the deal and go lay down, do your time. Because your co-partner, because Cornelius has separated himself from Straight Drops. He separated himself. They weren't even for it's way like last year. I think I went into the members and told you all that, right? And so but each and every time Ganguly had him close, and then they all of that stuff started happening, and so he had this, just like a child, he had this sense of arrogance. I'm getting away with something. My parents can't stop me. I'm grown. Listen, I'm doing all this. I'm running to jail. Even though you had people that was jumping on the internet saying, right, he running the jail, right? So that was that false sense of, of I've gotten away with something. And so he changed his mind or whatever. Something has been going on as of recently. I don't really know. But something been going on. See, he always get to that point, and then appeals and stuff are paid for. Hey, I don't know. I think I don't want to know. I don't want to speak for him because I don't know. The only thing I know is that he continuously hurts himself, and he's continuously allowing people to make an ass out of him, right? Anyways, he ended up getting, she closed the book on him. She laid him down. She laid him down for real. She laid him all the way down as it relates to being behind that wall, right? People were saying nothing was gonna happen. Okay. She even made it harder for his attorney, because even with him filing an appeal for the life sentence, he would then have to file an appeal for the other two charges, and she laid him down for real. He'd get at least 35, even if there was a technicality. The trial was 4 days. There wasn't no damn technicalities. As I told you all, um, early on when that trial was going on, I said they did not call any witnesses. I was like, that's weird. There was no witnesses called. There was no alibis. It would be hard to come back and say I had an alibi and bring somebody in there to commit perjury, when they didn't bring that same person in there during the first trial. So the trial was only 4 days. That there was not even any room for any technicalities. The state had their case wrapped tight. Even his attorney couldn't really play no games, right? It was wrapped tight, which is why they were quiet. And I understand, like when people are quiet, it's real hard for folks to play games, put all types of crazy stuff into the atmosphere, right? If Drop ain't NPC, them folks gonna have him whacked. So, anyways, I hope they don't whack him. I would hate to see anybody whack the young man. I don't like seeing folks bludgeon. I don't like that. Anyways, so now Straight Drop has received his sentence. Okay. He has received his sentence. Next week Cornelius goes to trial. It's a lot of stuff surrounding the Straight Drop situation. Cornelius goes to trial. Or Cornelius goes for his sentencing. Okay. And we already know that Cornelius has pleaded or whatever. is hoping to be considered for, um, you know, turning state's evidence, right, for helping the state out with his statement. He didn't really turn it because they already had a lot of folks that got so much stuff. It's ridiculous, from my understanding. And he helped. He helped to try to help himself so that she would at least give him consideration. Whereas if she gives him life, she give him life with the possibility of parole, which means he will probably go up for parole if that happens in 25 years, right? At that time, Trey Trey and Aria will be sitting at the parole hearing. They will be adults, probably in their 30s. I know Trey Trey would be in his 30s, over in his 30s, and probably Aria too. And I'm sure during that time they'd be sitting at his parole hearing to remind him of what they took from them and what they had to grow up without, right? Um, so even then he still may not get parole, okay? But she may give him that life with parole. Cause she lays him down. Okay. I was talking to somebody else. They said you know, they probably should have just stayed in Judge Coffee courtroom. But see, that was a way to play, because Judge Coffee laid her asses down too. But because she's I'm gonna tell you something about women. Let me tell y'all something right now about women in authority. I worked at the police department forever. Women, and a lot of people don't like female police officers, and they don't like them because female police officers seem to be harder. You know why? Because men think that they can finesse females. So it makes them harder. If they shut the fuck up and let the lady just write their ticket, don't tell her hair cute, thinking you flirting with her to get off, you might fare better. Don't think you can intimidate her. That's really gonna get your ass laid down. Just be respectful as you would with a man. She might not give you all them charges and you can ride off into the sunset, but that egotistical people don't know how to do that. But I just gave y'all something, right? And so anyways, that judge knew that they was moved to Judge Coffee's courtroom. She more than likely knew that they thought they played games with Judge Coffee. That was to give um straight drop a false sense of, we running this, we got this, okay, we've gotten you moved even out of this courtroom. You having your way in the jail. He was having his way in the jail up until a point. At some point, he wasn't having his way, but they let him believe that. It's crazy. They continuously let him do what he was doing when they found out, right? And so, for a reason, okay, because at that point the federal government was involved. They continued to let him to do it to help them. And so, anyways, they moved them into her courtroom, his judge. And so you had people on social media when he was moved. See, Luke know how to play games. It ain't nothing to get a case moved to another courtroom if you got an attorney that knows how to play games. And so just like Thugger was moved, Straight Drop was moved to another courtroom. You had people on social media talking about, yeah, he get ready to get out. Look at what his attorney did. Ain't this some shit? I ain't mad at Luke. Okay, I'm sure Luke kids getting and shit been put through college and stuff with all this money that he getting paid. And so that's what happened. And then they brought them into her courtroom, and people thought that, yeah, Big Trey gonna look just like his daddy. He already looks just like his daddy here. And so, anyways, but that's normally how it happens, I'm telling you. And so, anyways, they moved them into Judge Mitchell's courtroom. And Judge Mitchell is a community person. Somebody was telling me about her history of being out there, quietly being out there in the community, and she goes to the schools and stuff. She loves the children. and she's like a community activist, right? And so they brought them into a woman's courtroom, and with women already know that men, a lot of men, not all of them, feel like that they're softer, that we can get over on them, we can intimidate them, and the women been laying their asses down, period. Because I hear she lays them down, okay? Not just straight drop them, but she been laying their asses down for real in real life, even in other cases. So that was a mistake to go up and to get moved over in there. And so we know we have Cornelius, right? And so then after Cornelius, Orange Mound quit is supposed to go to court on the 22nd. Am I right? He's supposed to go to court on the 22nd so that we could see if he's going to either go to trial or if he's going to take a plea deal. Now, Orange Mound Quit's case is one of those cases that they have in the vault. You can't really get nobody to say anything about it for whatever reason. So I think that's why people have a lot of interest in what's going to happen, because that's one they hold close to their chest. And we won't know what's going on with that until it gets into the courtroom, okay? We have to follow as it goes, as it plays out in court, okay? And I think one of the reasons for that also, the DA, of course, and of course Judge Mitchell, has been one of those judges that don't want for the public, and I do believe for safety reasons, to know everything that plays out as it relates to these cases until they're in the courtroom, right? So now I just named 3 people. Okay. Are we finished? Will it end if Orange Mountain Quit decides to go to court in March, to trial? Will it end after that? Or are we just at the beginning? I think I've said from the very start, I had always said that I believe that Cornelius and Straight Drop, y'all know I said that's Cornelius and Straight Drop out there. Okay. I believe that it was Cornelius and I believe that it was Straight Drop. And I said, look at those shoes, when folks were saying that, it was some of them other rappers. I said, you know, um, look at Cornelius's shoes. I said, whoever that was, and I believe it was him. Okay, because I started looking at some more stuff and I was like, it was him. And because a lot of those other little rappers take pride and they'll go rob the damn train before they go wear some shoes that they consider bobos. That's just how arrogant they are. They'll rob the train and go to jail. Okay. So I figured that it was Straight Drop. With the way I was looking at Straight Drop's feet, they're shaped like a little boat. They're long like a boat. I kept looking at that video with him and Big Homie G. Okay. And when I would pull that video up in the beginning, people would always ask me, why you click on that video and then click on another that picture of them being out there. I would always just click on that video and pause it when Straight Drop was walking because I was looking at his feet. And that's why I always said I always knew it was him that was out there, because the feet were shaped like boats. Straight Drop had a like a little bow in his leg. I was looking at that, the shape, the way his legs looking, like trying to compare the lengths and stuff of his legs. I always knew that was him. The way his facial mask was on him in court, um, the way the facial mask was on the suspect out on the crime scene. I told y'all, I said, look at the way that mask stands out. Straight Drop. We see now he has big lips. I said that mask is on his face the exact same way that it is in the courtroom. That's why I kept comparing that and pulling that up. People was, I didn't have all of this grand stuff. I'm an investigator for real. I've been trained. Okay, I've taken cases, contracted cases for lawyers and different the prosecutors and stuff. So I know how to investigate stuff. Okay, I ain't trying to toot my own horn, but toot. And so that's why people always try to discredit me. I ain't never worked on a Young Dogs case, but for the prosecutors, I haven't. I think people wanted to say that I haven't. If I had, I wouldn't have been on here because they would not have allowed me to be on here. Um, but anyways, he must have snitched on everybody. So, anyways, is it the ending, or are we just beginning? And I think I said from the very start, um, that we were just beginning, right? We were just beginning because with them getting straight drop. That's why I always talked about, and I learned, I always talk about the branches. I always talk about a tree. Tree represents life and all of that, right? And it's just something about that. Um, that's what I was taught as a little girl. I always heard my dad talk about it. That's why I talk about, when I describe things, I talk about the branches of a tree, the limbs of a tree, the root of a tree, right? And I always said from the very beginning when I came on here, y'all, straight dropping them are just the limbs. Okay. They're just the limbs of a tree. A lot of the other little guys that was involved, they're the low hanging fruit from the limbs. And you have branches, right? And you have the trunk and you have the root. And Big Jook's name was brought up quite a bit. Big Jook could be looked up at as the root of the tree, but I don't believe that he's the root. I believe that Big Jook is the trunk of the tree, right? He held all of this stuff up. I believe what the police say, that he was the enforcer. I believe that. I believe what the police say. Now, if some of these other niggas, I've always said I believe some of these folks that was on here has a direct affiliation with some of these. Of course, they're gang members, and so they have a direct. That's what a lot of them going to jail with the crimes that they've been committing. They have a direct affiliation with some of these rappers and stuff because they want to be rappers, or they have artists, right, that are involved. I mean, that ain't nothing I'm making up. That police said that. Okay. They're hoping to get deals for they think they're gonna be managers and have record labels and shit. Ain't that some committing crimes and the folks looking at your stupid ass? All right. And so, but anyways, that's why I've always said that I believe that Big Jook is the trunk of the tree. It's easier to blame everything on a dead man. It's an insult to the government. That's why when people were saying Orange Mound quit was gonna blame everything on Jook, Orange Mound quit ain't stupid. Like I don't guess he that stupid to at this point to put everything on Jook, especially if that's not what he was saying at first. It would be an insult to the government to think, oh, okay, this person is dead, so we're gonna blame everything on him. That's an insult. I wouldn't do that. But a lot of, but I guess I don't know. Um, you didn't hear Cornelius putting everything on Jook. Hmm. He talked about the meetings and stuff that they had, but you didn't hear him putting everything on Jook. Cornelius wanted to mention some more people, and they redirected him every time he got ready to do it or did do it. They would redirect him back to the focus at that point because it's another investigation going on with the federal government. Hell, I, if if you don't believe me, go back and listen to what Straight Drops attorney said. Didn't he say, Cornelius, your attorney told you to work with the feds? Did he not say that? Okay. When Cornelius was in court, what we saw was a state case. Straight Drops attorney slick put that into the atmosphere because that's how attorneys are when they want to drop dimes like that, right? And so, anyways, I don't think Cornbread know nothing about Gotti. Cornbread knew that Gotti and Juke had offered him a record deal. Cornbread knew that Gotti and Juke, because he said it, had promised Straight Drop a record deal. He said it. Okay. He might not know a whole lot, but he knew enough. Y'all need to understand when you start talking about taking somebody's life, you don't listen. They're not gonna just recruit no anybody. They're not going to. When you go and some, not unless you're feeble minded, they're not gonna recruit nobody like me because they already know how I get down. And then I'm gonna find that I'm gonna be insulted that a bitch would ever think that they could recruit me to do something that's gonna get me messed over for some damn money. So that's when you start getting vulgar. Okay. So I know a lot of people feel like that they just snatch cornbread in. They just they had to have had some type of because it's a lot of crackheads out there. It's a lot of them out there that they would dare not let them know that they're trying to take out a rap artist. If Orange Mound Quet was selling drugs and stuff, he was a pill man, like Cornelius said. I'm sure he didn't just sell pills to Cornelius. So what made them choose Cornelius? Had to be a reason. If you're a drug dealer, you sell drugs to anybody that do them. So what made them have enough? What made them choose Cornelius out of all the people? I don't believe that was Cornelius's first. Cornelius was already, he already had a history of um burglarizing and stuff. Okay. Okay. So will it end? Are we at the end of it or are we just at the beginning now? I know a lot of people say, okay, and we're all just discussing this together, okay? We're all in this together. A lot of people say that I think I'm going back to the branches of the tree. And so, I know that Orange Mound Quid has charges of being the mastermind. I'm surprised that charge has not been reduced because we know he wasn't the mastermind. I said that from the beginning. I said that he ain't the mastermind and he ain't paid for it from out of his money. And we kind of seeing that now, right? They said because Quit New Cornbread was his best pill buyer and weak and hungry for money. That could be true. But I think it was because he was out, they also knew he would commit crimes. They had seen him do something that gave them confidence that he could do what he did. And look what he did. He jumped out. I don't even like think talk. That boy jumped out there and he saw that boy standing back there by that door. It was people in court. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I do know he didn't die right away. He died, but he didn't die right away. He didn't die right off. The people in the courtroom saw the video from the inside of that's why when they did it, showed it again, when his security was sitting up on the stage, up on the I said the stage, sitting up on the stand, his security got emotional and started to cry, right? Um, it was people that was sitting in that courtroom that saw that video. Young Dolph's family broke down. Person that was in there that I know said they didn't see Mia J in there. She could have been there, but they didn't. She might have decided not to be in there to see that video, right? Um, but then just because they didn't see her in there don't mean she wasn't in there. Let me just say that. He says, I believe they hired Cornbread because he would come cheap and he would be easy to get rid of when people really want a job done professionally. They hire out of town shooters. That's true. Um, so Cornelius saw him standing there by that door with his back turned. and started letting them bullets go in his back. And so people say, why weren't the other folks hit? Because he all them bullets, he was putting all them bullets in that boy back. And as he was falling, and they saw that he wasn't dead at that point, they made sure that he was. And they kept letting them bullets go as he was falling. And then Straight Drop came up and started giving him face and head shots. So he deserved his. He deserved his. Even though Cornelius had knocked him down, he was probably gonna die with all them bullets and stuff in his back. Straight Drop came up and he had to get his in. I guess he couldn't. He was waiting on Cornelius to start it out because maybe he was on the phone with somebody, letting them know that he in that shop, and they said don't let him come out. Okay, maybe that's the reason why it took him a minute to get out the car. Maybe that's why Cornelius was. I always wonder why Cornelius didn't say that. Maybe he went in the car when that call was made. I don't know. And they still would have been shooting him if Marcus had not started shooting back and knocked Cornelius' ass back in his shoulder to get him up off of his brother. Okay, when Marcus came out, he had already unloaded with what he had in his hand. Okay, I don't like talking about that because it gets me very emotional. Y'all know I'm emotional anyways. I'm trying to keep from cussing and all of that. But I think, we've been talking about this for almost 3 years. It's still as emotional as it was to me the very first time, right? Be quiet. Okay? Because it was unnecessary, right? Anyways, so the limbs and the branches of the tree. The limbs of the tree, the branches of the tree, the trunk of the tree. But who is the root of the tree? Are they trying to say that Big Jook? 80 says Straight Drop was making sure they didn't run into a gunfight. That's why he let Cornbread go first and make sure it wasn't going to be a gunfight before he got out, I think. That could be true, 80s. Hey, that could be true, so he can pull off. Tennessee missed it and leave Cornbread there because I wonder how he was going to do that when they pulled up in Westwood. God stopped that because it was going to be a lot of kids and stuff out there. And it was going to be a lot of kids and stuff out there. A lot of people out there could have lost their life in Westwood. Cornelius was on one. He was really geeked up. But I wonder how Straight Drop was going to do that because they were not going to be able to pull up in Westwood and shoot them artists and not get that car riddled with bullets, them tires shot out. And they weren't going to make it out. They were not going to make it out. They weren't. Okay. So I wonder what Straight Drop going to let Cornelius out at the corner in Westwood and say, go up there and start spraying. Because I don't really believe he had the guts to ride up on them close like that in Westwood. He knew that he was going to have to be somebody was going to, if they had hit them dudes, somebody was going to hit them back. It was going to be a lot of pandemonium, right? Anyways, he says Cornelius was sent first because if they were alert and fired on Corn, Straight Drop was going to leave. Yep. Mm-hmm. 80 says they definitely was going to run into a shootout in Westwood. They was more prepared while giving out turkeys. Yeah. But y'all are is was justice served, like is it over? Or are there other people? Now let's move a little further. Right. I guess like we just kind of going back over some stuff. Let's move a little further. Um Now, a lot of people say they don't believe the insurance guy. I believe him. I believe him. I believe that there was some inconsistencies because somebody told him that, right? I do. I believe that there were some inconsistencies there because I think people may have tried to justify to him. Hey, may have been trying to justify to him. May have been trying to justify to him that of why they was involved in what they was doing, but um so I think there were a few inconsistencies, but I believe it's because it was what he was told, and the person that told him knew that it was a lie, right? What's up, paper bag? He said, "Salute. I'm a little mad. We waited 3 years for 3 days," and and so I don't think it's over. Too many people was involved in Young Dolph demise. I think they working on federal charges in the Young Dolph's case. Me too. I do too. Okay. Anyways, and so um a lot of people say that they don't believe the insurance agent, but I do. I believe the reason for the insurance agent saying something is because he wanted it out. He knew that the police looked at Thaddeus Matthews' page. That would be a way of them. I don't think he thought, you know, he would have did better really just calling in a Crime Stoppers tip if he didn't want his name in it. He could have had somebody else to call in a Crime Stoppers tip and had them to follow up on it. It would have been better if he didn't want his name in it, right? Because even when you start telling like media people, if they are subpoenaed, not unless it's an attorney or something, they have to tell, right? And so I watched it very closely, right? And I think his reasoning for telling Thaddeus is because he wanted it out there, because he knew that the police and stuff looked at Thaddeus' lives. He just didn't want to have to be the one to tell it. I truly believe that that's what it was. Um, he didn't want his name in it, and it was probably some more stuff going on as it relates to that. Um, and so he saw how big that it was going. He saw how big it was going to get, right? What's up, checkmate? Grip. He said Kevin Demetrius Thompson. Look it up. Who is that? Who is Kevin Demetrius Thompson? And so we saw that, right? We saw that what the insurance guy said, okay? And so, like I said, the insurance guy has really been into seclusion and he has every good reason to. A lot of people say that they don't necessarily believe what he say. I do. I believe that what he said was credible. Even if there was some things in there that was said that may not have been true, I'd still think it was because some people had told him that, right? Like I said, people kind of have a reason. People say stuff, right? I think that people say things because they oh, okay. He said read my previous two chats. Oh, okay. Y'all know I be missing a whole lot of comments because I be all in other screens and stuff. And so, anyways, you guys, Are we at the end? Who do I think took out the guy that was keeping Dolph Mural clean at the cookie shop? Um, I don't know who. I don't know, but I think the police know has an idea of who did it. I don't know who did it. Um, I will say this. I kind of think that they some kind of way they think Teasy might have been involved. Um, but I don't know. But I hear a lot of people say that they feel that it has something to do with something else. I was told very early on that it was related to the Young Douse case, and that's why I never really I was asked not to talk about it. So it had to have been deep, right? And I don't really know a whole lot about it other than the police believe that it's related to the Young Douse case. Okay. And Tease's name has come up also. Okay. Jay Tatum says, DC's King says, good morning. Some justice has been served, but total and complete justice hasn't been served yet. I am hoping and praying for RICO charges for CMG. CMG, the label, heads, not just shook, wanted him gone. Paperback says, is what white car BG baby mama car? Is that white car BG baby mama car? And I thought a clear lady got a carjack, and I thought cornbread got caught with the car, but the car was found blocks away from the cookie shop. Okay. I was going to say, who is BG? Because I be hearing people talk about a baby BG, but I don't know who that is, though. Okay. But I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see as it relates to Jeremiah's case. I think that case, all of that stuff will more than likely probably come out in a federal case, though, as it relates to Jeremiah. I don't know. You know, I was just told early on that there was some connection, and I really never talked about it. And when I say early on, probably the year that it happened. So they knew early on. They had an idea early on of what happened to Jeremiah. I guess it's about it's tying up everything. I don't know. Okay, I don't know. I guess we'll all see together. We'll all see together, right? Because I don't know. One thing I can say is that I think people, not people that have been in and out of the justice system, because I hear a lot of guys that have had issues with the law and stuff talk about the federal government. Um, so I can't really understand. I do know a lot of it was done for a check, but I can't understand why people are consistently underestimating what the government can do. They talk about the government, but then they want to underestimate the government in the Young Dogs case as if they don't already know, right? As if they don't already know, or they can't solve cases, or their percentage of conviction rates are not as high as they are. So I don't know, it's weird, but you have to understand when you start getting when Young Dolph was unfortunately hit up, it was a lot of people that knew what had happened. It was a lot of people that knew. That Crime Stoppers tip line was jumping off of the chain. It was too many people that knew. And so I think the reasons that um also that the law enforcement has been able to get as much information as they've gotten, not just because of persons that was involved like Cornelius and all of that. I think it's because of the public that knew what was going, people within the public. All of those young guys knew what had happened. They knew the play. They knew all of that. So you have to understand, like they knew early on. You had a lot of those young dudes that was messaging each other on Instagram, They were so happy. They thought we got the big dog. Okay, now Key Glock and them get ready to fall. I can't understand that. That was just really stupid. They wanted for a paper route to know that we got y'all big dog. That's just how stupid. Because at the time, like JoJo Splat was 17, 18 years old. You talking about Bobby and them were 21 years old. They were all within that age bracket, and they were all hanging around Straight Drop. What's so weird is like right afterwards, JoJo Splat, somebody started trying to make him a star. He couldn't rap, but they started trying to make him a star. That was weird. I don't know. The feds probably know who it was though. I don't know. Grip says, if we in South Carolina, how could it be possible to get invitations and escorts to Juke funeral? Grip, I guess I must have missed. Let me look at the other. I'm missing comments. Let me go back up here. '80 says, I think it's over. Too many people was involved in Young Dolph's demise. I think they working on federal charges. Good morning. He said JoJo Swag couldn't rap to save his grandma life. I'm gonna tell y'all something. Y'all people, I got a lot of y'all go back and look at that video. People are so evil. Like when I did that video on JoJo Splat, when JoJo Splat was on the porch, JoJo Splat was shaking, and I had already been watching him on social media. So he had started having breakdowns talking about nobody loves me and this and that. And he was shaking and stuff. So I did a video because I felt so bad for the guy because JoJo Splat was 18, 19 years old. So I started crying. All the people, see, yeah, a lot of these people made me mean on here because folks don't like to accept that some people genuinely care about their community. I told y'all I used to counsel with little boys, JoJo Splat in them age. So when he was shaking like a leaf, I was like, they was wrong to pull that little child into that. And I know he has his own mind, but they know at 18 years old, that child brain is not even developed. So to see him shaking like that, paper route had or somebody had got at him. And I remember him posting I, I so anyways, he was having a hard time. Okay, he was having a hard time. But I'm gonna say this: whoever the affiliates are of Young Dolph, I won't say it was Paper Route. Whoever those affiliates were of him, they got a hold to him, but they let him go. They did not hurt him. They did not hurt him, and they let him go. Because I remember him getting on his when they let him go. He got on his social media. He got on his social media and said if they took that chain back that he had, and them chains probably ain't even real. They probably got. I'm talking about the ones they had. You can go inside the mall, the Iranians sell them for $5. So, but they took the chain back that JoJo had, and from my understanding, because rest in peace, Young Dog came here and said it. I saw him on social media, but JoJo, rest in peace, Young Dog said when they did get a hold to him, he begged them and cried. Whoever the affiliates were, he begged them and cried, and he told them that he did not do it. He was not a part of what had happened to Young Dolph, and he told them exactly who did it, and they let him go. So that lets you know that whoever the affiliates were, Young Dolph, they were not vicious, right? And so he went and got on his social media after they let him go and said, if Pre keep on messing with me, I know something. I said, Lord have mercy, JoJo Splat. Just go on back to school and go get a trade. Okay, and so then he started having breakdowns and stuff. I was watching that. I was like, wow, it won't be long now. I said it won't be long now. I kept looking at it because I knew with all those breakdowns that he was having. I said this kid right here he's it won't be long. And so, but then like months, like he stopped posting, and I thought that was strategic. I was like, dog, he stopped posting. I think somebody told him to get off social media. And then when he started back posting, he was posting about yeah. Yeah, he said, I'ma slime him out. He said if Pre keep messing with me, I know something. I'ma slime him out. He was mad. Poor JoJo Splat. And so, anyways, he then when he started posting again, I never forget. He started posting that he was flying back and forwards to California. I was like, wow, that's something. I mean, he started showing his clothes. I mean, he went up. He went up. And so he was flying back and forth to California. I guess he was vacationing. I don't know. And then he started doing videos. Okay. He started doing videos. I'm talking about rap videos. And that last rap video he did, I do video work. It was well treated. It was a professional that did it. So I don't know. Just like whoever did Stray Drop's last video when he was on the run. What was it called? iHawk or whatever. iHawk. Y'all know the name of the song. It was well treated too. I said that's somebody paid good money for that video. Okay, maybe Straight Drop did. I don't know. And so and so however he was going back and forth out to California, I'm sure the feds know. The feds know everything. I think. If you ask me, I don't know, but I think they do. And so anyways, y'all. He said it was anyways, you had people like JoJo Splat and them. They were making fun of they wanted for paper route artists to know that they were involved or that they knew what had happened, right? So Straight Drop was all on live saying, Splat, JoJo Splat called me. They was messaging each other on Instagram. We already know those messages been subpoenaed. So that goes without saying. All of the messages have been subpoenaed. So a lot of these people, those that have told they had to tell because of all of the evidence. Trust me, let me tell you something. People don't tell just because they decide, even with Cornelius, because they have an epiphany and they feel bad. They tell because the feds start letting them know everything that they got. And they feel like it would just be in my best interest to tell shit. So the judge can have more compassion for me. I might as well. You heard what Cornelius said. The folks already know. They let Cornelius know everything they had. You can't have 1,000,000 pages worth of shit and it not be anything, right? And so what Cornelius said, Cornelius was telling them they already know. I might as well tell the truth. They knew. They told him what they had. They told him. So anyways, is that the ending? Because like I said, did we get the root? Some people want to say Big Jook was the root of the tree. Big Jook is not not the root of the tree. You know, was Black Youngster the root of the tree? I believe he was. I think he stood right beside Juke on that as being the trunk of the tree. So the trunk of the tree holds up the limbs and the branches and stuff grows. The trunk of the tree holds all of that up. So that would make him an enforcer, maybe. But it's a root, and I believe it's more than one root in that tree. Okay, it's more than one damn root in that tree. So, if you ask me, and this is just in my opinion, this is just my belief. Is it the end? No, I don't. I think we're just in the beginning. As I told y'all when I first started vlogging on this case, I said, don't put what title on who head, Legend. Don't put the title on whose head. Who are you talking about, Legend? Who are you talking about, Legend? I'm not gonna get offensive. I'm not gonna get offended with you. I'm gonna hear what you got to say. Black Youngster. I digress. Okay. And so, anyways, if we believe what the insurance guy says, okay, then he was involved, Black Youngster, okay? If we believe what he says, right? We had people that put him on the scene. We saw all that, okay? We saw all of that. When people was putting him on the scene, when we had people that were just standing out there that says he was driving around the scene, right? That was all on video, okay? Legend, let me say this to you, okay? Let me say this to you because it seems like I just don't take idle threats good. And I could look at that as a subtle threat, what you're saying, okay? You see everybody else vlogging on this case. Why are you in my chat? If you see everybody else vlogging on this case, why are you in my chat? Okay? Why are you in my chat? Because as a vlogger, right, Legend, that's what vloggers do. They vlog. Have you been in any of these men chats saying anything to them? If you tell me not to talk about something, that could be looked at as a threat. The police have already did their job. The police are doing their job, right? They are doing their job, and I'm not going to go in, but I think you need to be meticulous about the words you put into the atmosphere. Okay? We have to be very meticulous about those words that we put into the atmosphere. Okay? So be meticulous about the words you say, because I mean I know when somebody, because I've had it happen quite a bit. Not a lot. And y'all know what the thing. Okay, here I'm gonna do that. You know what's so weird about this thing is that I was saying to somebody else, what's so weird is that a lot of these guys have gotten themselves in trouble because they have made fake pages. Okay. Because they have made fake pages and they have come into chats. Okay. And they act like they can't be traced, especially if they're considered to be a threat. And they have basically told on themselves rather than just staying off of the internet. Hey, I could see somebody coming into the chat, like somebody was saying something to me about a guy coming to the chat. He say he's Govan's brother. I don't know. He could be. But whatever I vlog on, he's in the chat quite often. I never looked at him as a threat. You know why I haven't looked at him as a threat? Because when he comes into my chat, he's always been respectful. That's why you never hear me saying anything to him. He never say, you shouldn't be vlogging on this. You shouldn't say this. You shouldn't say that. What he comes in to say is, I don't think he's guilty. Well, he got a right to say that. He don't ever tell me what I should or shouldn't do. Okay. And the thing about it is the reasons that the police, I've always said, right, that I am not on here to solve a case. We basically put our opinions out there. If I've heard something that I can talk about, okay, then I will talk about it. Somebody asked me about Jeremiah, and I simply told you all what I think about, what I'd heard about Jeremiah. But it was very early on. I don't go and inquire about, what's going to happen? What's going to happen to Orange Mound Quit? What's going to happen to Cornelius? I don't know. As it come out, we talk about it, right? You'll never hear me on here saying, I'm trying to solve a case. I don't want to try to solve it. I want the people that are on the case that has been solving it, which would be the authorities, okay, that knows everything. I want them to do it. They've been getting paid to do it, and I think that they've been doing a good job from what I can see. But we all talk about it, right? So I am letting the police do their job, Legend. And he said, you got to stay out of street business. Folks talk about this stuff every day. Okay, people talk about this stuff every single day. Every single day for 3 years. Rather it's this case, rather it's Thugger's case, rather it's Takeoff's case, rather it's anybody's case, the vloggers are going to be talking about it. It ain't no different than what the Inquirer did. Okay. It's no difference than what the Inquirer did. It's no different than what CNN does, what TMZ does. Nobody tells TMZ to stay out of stuff. Okay. Anyways, I digress. I ain't mad at you, Legend. You just have to understand. Like, I've been on here 3 years. I know what people do. It's certain things that people say that kind of triggers me. And when you tell me you should not be talking about something, that makes me mad at a motherfucker. Okay. I let you ride this time because you say that you were not throwing out shots. You were not throwing out threats. But when you tell somebody what they shouldn't be doing or they don't need to do this, it could be looked at as a threat. Everybody on here that's been in my chat 3 years know what I do when I feel like I'm being threatened. Okay. They know how I ride, I get down. So that's why I say, leave me alone. Okay. Come in here, state your opinion, and just go on with your life. Okay. Go on with your life. We all gonna be happy. But anyways, you guys, was justice served in the Young Dolph's case, or are we just beginning? Let's talk about it. Thank you, Paula. Is that Paul the all? Paul do all. Okay. Okay. Tamboris is Tamara, you should not be so direct. When you say I shouldn't be so direct, what you mean? Million Ways says, War Eagle, y'all. Thank you, Kane Life. See, normally I be going all I can't be letting these people get my blood pressure up. Okay. When you get older, people get you mad. Oh, he says he messing with me. Okay. I was getting ready to say, what? Not Tambora. Um, when people get your blood pressure up, it be hard for it to go back down. So I just, you know, I can't let that happen. But like I said, we've been talking about this for 3 years, right? And so hey, I think it's just the beginning. And here's the thing, it's whatever is happening in this young dog situation, no vlogger can accentuate that. They cannot add or take away. This is a case that has been investigated by multiple entities for 2 3 years. And that's why I say people that are involved in this directly or indirectly, what they need to do is they need to hey Stanley, what they need to do is they need to humble themselves and know and not get caught up in that blogging. Get because bloggers are gonna say whatever it is that they want to say. You can't stop them. Okay, you can't stop them. You talking about death penalty and stuff when you start talking about putting hits on them. And which I gotta be honest, that has only come from other vloggers, with their sicknesses, mental illnesses and stuff. But you can't stop people from saying what it is that they want to say. All right. So what you have to do is you got to just not listen to it, or you got to be strong enough to state your opinion, um and then just move on. Okay. um Michelle says, keep your mind, no one can't tell you what to say or can't say. Tambora says, everyone needs a hug sometimes, not stress. I agree. I agree. So, anyways, y'all, let me see how many likes we got. Make sure you all hit the like button. We're talking about, and I'm going to be on here for like let's see, I could be on here for a few more minutes. Um, we're talking about. I would love to hear what you all got to say. Are we, y'all hit the like button though? It was almost 200 people in here. It's 156 people. We only have 74 likes. We only have 74 likes, you all. So I would love to see you all hit the like button for me, okay? We need at least like 25, 26 more likes. About 25 or 26 more likes, okay? So keep running the like button up. Like I said, and I'm going back to Mr. Legend. Mr. Legend, it gives me no pleasure to see so many rappers that have come from out of the city that I was born and raised in, or even if they weren't rappers, that was tied up in this situation, either lose their life or getting ready to go to jail for life. I'm not one of those ones that get jealous of people because they build empires and go, well, I just want to see Yo Gotti, such and such happen to Yo Gotti because no, I don't. I'm gonna tell you something. Memphis embraced Yo Gotti and helped them to be is a really big part of what he is today, because it was his hometown that was coming to them hole in the wall clubs, paying for him, helping to run him up, right? Before anybody outside of his city ever knew him. People loved him. That's why when folks say, everybody the people didn't support Yo Gotti, I go, yeah, they supported him. I'm not gonna lie. They did support him. And so that's why, hey, stop. That's why it's so disappointing that all of this has happened, right? When those two men together, I always bring up Baby and Master P, because there was rumors all the time about Baby and Master P having issues. But when Master P would get an award and be on stage, he would always say, shout out to Cash Money. They from out of New Orleans too, a label from out of New Orleans doing their thing. So if they was able to coexist. Their artist was winning. They understood it was enough money for everybody. They didn't get in each other's way. It wasn't no such thing as Baby saying, I'm going to take out Master P, or Master P, I'm going to take out Baby so I can sign all of the New Orleans rappers. He was not doing that. And you know what the beautiful thing about it was? They both were signing. They signed rappers and from out of the Louisiana area, especially the New Orleans area that was known for a lot of poverty and being the murder capital, and made them dudes wealthy or millionaires. It was enough. They didn't go all around Louisiana. They started within New Orleans. Master P knew that he couldn't sign everybody from out of New Orleans. So why not allow Baby to sign some more guys and help to make them wealthy? Anytime you had that mindset, you are selfish and there's some evilness there. Do y'all know the type of wealth that could have been generated? Okay, Yo Gotti signed, he got a label, he's signing dudes. And not just from out of North Memphis. And he's signing them for the right reason. Young Dolph is paper route, he's signing dudes. They could have recreated what Cash Money and No Limit did all over again, right? With that Memphis sound. Okay, so it does not give me pleasure. Okay, everything I do as it relates to this case, the things that I say and stuff, is for a reason. It's for a reason. I know a lot of these guys, they fans of the show. Okay, they like looking at this chocolate. Okay, they fascinated by me. Okay, they want to hear my message. They want to know what I know and hear what I got to say. But so what I do is, because I know they're gonna run over to my channel, what I do is, because I am for my community, I put I say some shit that's gonna that I hope will convict them, to let them know what y'all did wasn't right. Look at what's happening with our community. See, I was always taught, if you're gonna have a seat at the table, my daddy used to always teach me, if you're gonna have a seat at the table, you better say something. You better make your petition known. You don't just get a seat at the table and not say nothing. If somebody gonna hand you a mic, you don't get the attention of people and not say nothing and put a lot of BS into the atmosphere. So I'm a woman. I'm not kissing nobody's ass. I'm proud to stand up here and say, even with my TV show, I did the same thing. When I was telling a lot of preachers, why are we leading our people astray? All the preachers are not the same. I was saying it on my TV show. It ain't right to, when you have Miss Eula May, who's 75 years old, and she's got to decide between her medicine and how she's going to eat, and we're making her feel guilty about not putting her tithes in church. She got to decide. She already on a fixed income. If she putting fear in her, if you don't pay your tithes, you're gonna go to the devil. Hell, when y'all ought to be giving her something. That's why a lot of the old mothers love me, because I put that into the atmosphere. You don't put that fear in people who was brought up. That makes them feel a certain way. That's why a lot of young people turn away from God, because a lot of the pimps in the pulpit, and God gonna hold them responsible for that. The church is supposed to be a storehouse for the widows and the children. Miss Eula May shouldn't have to worry about what she gonna eat, because the church supposed to be feeding her. Okay? But I said, God gonna make a lot of people pay for making these people feel like, if I don't pay my tithes, I'm going to the devil. That hurts me, right? That hurt me. I would cry a lot about that. They were saying she crying all on TV. I would cry about that, because after I cried, they lucky it was a church service, a church show that I do. a gospel show, because y'all know how I get out that crowd. I'm cussing a bitch out. I can't do that on there, y'all. I have advertisers, okay? And so I was taught by my dad. I talk about my dad because he died last year. We was very close. He taught me business. If you're gonna have the mic, you better put something into the atmosphere to make your people think. Okay? You better put something into the atmosphere to make your people think. So I know a lot of these rappers flock to my channel. They know who the truth is. Hell. All right. So I have a passion for my city. I have a passion for my community, but especially the city I was born and raised in. I grew up in South Memphis. So I want these niggas to have some conviction for what they did to their city. It ain't about choosing sides. That's the problem. People always want to sit on the fence. Like I always say, they sit on the fence so much they have splendors up their ass because they too weak to make a decision. It's about standing on the side of what's right. So when you stand on the side of what's right, people say you getting into street business. No, I'm a woman, and what I'm saying is those that he never should have been killed. They know they was wrong to kill that damn boy. When is somebody gonna stand up and say that? Hey, but we'll get people on here. Well, you know the police did this. See, I can't stand a bitch like that. But as soon as it comes to what they did to young Dolph, well, you know that street. I ain't got nothing to do with that. Yeah, but that's a black man. You sitting up hollering and screaming on every rooftop that the police are killing black men. So you'll jump on your platform with your hypocritical ass and you'll perpetuate riots. But when it comes to young Dolph, who is giving back to his community, well, you know that street stuff. We got to stay out of street stuff. I can't stand no bitch ass nigga. Okay, so then when they come to my page, and I'm too crazy to be scary. That's the reason why I say you come over here threatening me, bitch. I'm gonna tell the I know how I've been working in the criminal justice system for too long. Don't play with me. Just go on with your life. Do not activate me. Leave me alone. Because I'm not gonna play with you. I know how to do it. Okay. And so when I get to saying that it never should have happened, you can't get people to stand on the side. It's not choosing sides, it's standing on the side of what's right. It's about choosing what's right. Okay? It's about choosing what's right. And so you get people, that's you get people that they just can't do that because these folks, right? These folks taking people out. He says babies and Master P's beef were between the street guys backing them. That's why it didn't go far. And I hear in the Young Dolph situation and the yoga. Hey, be quiet. In the Yo Gotti and Young Dolph situation, there were I hear people say, I don't know if it's true or not, that there were people within the streets of Memphis that was instigating it, even if it was instigated. Whether it was instigated or not, it never should have gone as far as it did, where you're taking a human life. Young Dolph had money. We saw he had money. He went into a Gucci store or a Louis Vuitton store or something while he was waiting to do a show and counted out $250,000. He had the money. Shit, you got people that'll take somebody out for a gourmet cheese toast sandwich, and to be able to stand. Did you see me standing back on stage while he rapped? Did. Can't even talk. Spitting big slob coming all out their damn mouth, and a damn cheese sandwich. Okay, so if you can get somebody to take somebody out for that. Young Dolph had real money where he could have hired real hitmen. He had the right to retaliate. Okay. They was constantly trying to take him out. That should have been called to the table. Alabama Hitter says gangster wanted to take out Mystical. These are facts. They told him to stand down. And that's what I'm saying. People ain't telling folks to do right no more because you know, well, if I say something, they ain't gonna give me a piece of the pie no more. Bitch, you already getting crumbs. You ain't even getting a piece of the pie. Okay. When do people start standing up and saying what's right? Because see, I ain't gonna be around nobody and I can't tell them what's right. That's the reason why I'm able to be a loner. The job that I do is so me because I get to sit by myself all the time, be around other investigators who got the same little quirky personality that I got. We weird types of people, okay? And then we do our job and we go on. But thank you, Jesus loves. And so, but people don't do that because they on their knees for some crumbs. I can't be around nobody if I got the ear of somebody and they come to me and say, you know what, my nickname Chrissy. You know what, Chrissy, I'm gonna kill that, especially if he my man. Oh hell no, bitch! I'm supposed to have more influence on him than anybody. You think you're gonna lay up in the bed with me and tell me about you get ready to pay for a hit? Oh no, that ain't going down. And if it do go down, and I got to go because I can't be around no damn fool that I cannot influence to do right. Everybody goes, I'm his confidant. These women now so pitiful. I'm his confidant, girl. Because see, she gonna go tell her friends that she feel like it's an honor that he told her he laid in the bed smoking weed. Well, I don't smoke weed. Okay. He laid in the bed smoking weed with her, telling pillow talk and telling her about all his murders. He trusts me enough, bitch. That's your cue to get away. He'll kill her. If he could kill all them folks, bitch, he'll strangle you up. He'll strangle you real good. Girl, it's an honor. He's telling me all his secrets instead of saying, oh, wait a minute. No red flags going up. And he gives me money. See, that's it right there. Everything going out of the window. He giving you some money. This man telling you about he get ready to go. He a hit man, and you think it's an honor that he telling you about the hits. If that's your man, especially if he is a shot caller, okay? Especially if he is a shot caller, you supposed to be able to redirect that energy. Baby, we together. You can't bring danger to me, and you sure can't bring danger to these kids. You need to rethink that if that person ain't a threat to you. These kids, I can't be worried about these kids coming back and forth to school. I can't be worried about being when I'm in Walmart buying all the damn washing powder and stuff because I like to look at the new cleaning stuff because I'm a fanatic on that. Okay, you ever catch me in Walmart? That's when you catch me in the cleaning area. Just say hey and go on because I love looking at washing powder and stuff and buying it all. Baby, I can't be worried about that. So you got to think about you got to think about your life outside of that stuff. Ain't no women doing that though. Girl, baby, he a hitter, baby. You look at me wrong, baby, and he gave me $100. Child, these folks gone crazy over $100. Okay, they ain't even got to pay bills no more, just $100. Okay. And don't let him be giving her $200, $300 to go get her nails done and her hair done. She going on the hits with him. And what I'm saying is, this is how ignorant people are now. Okay, baby, he giving me $300 every time I ask for it. Yes, I'm going on a hit with him. And she got kids at home. What's going on, y'all? And so people get mad at me because I get on here and I'm not afraid to talk about what people are doing and how it's not right. And people don't like being told when they're wrong. I'm gonna kill you. You tell me I'm wrong. They don't want you to. And you know why they do it? Because they already know that they're wrong. I used to work for a person. Okay, I used to work for this person. They would do some stuff and they knew they was wrong. They would feel bad But they always wanted the people that was around them to tell them that they did, well, you didn't do anything wrong. What you did was right. It make them feel better when you know you're wrong. Then when they would look at me, here I am, this little black ass, chocolate ass girl sitting here with these heels on. Bitch, you already know what I'm getting ready to say. What you got to say? Was I right? No, you weren't right. You was wrong. How you gonna take a job from a man just because you mad? Just because you can? How you gonna do that just because you got emotional? No, that wasn't right. See, I was taught differently. I was taught when you're in these rooms, you ain't just in there for yourself. If you're next to the shot caller, you better open your damn mouth because you ain't just there for yourself. No, you wrong. You got emotional, you got mad, and you want to fire that person. You is wrong. I might lose my job, bitch. That's why I go get all types of training and stuff. Because fire me, I'm just gonna I'm gonna do my thing. Okay, that's why I can work for myself now. Okay. And then later on, they will come back and say, well, I decided not to fire them. I just decided to talk to them. Well, good. But people are so miserable now. They love seeing folks unhappy and suffering and all of that. Okay. They love seeing people suffering and all of that. They will sit up and I'm gonna fire them. Yeah, you should fire them, chief. And you should do such and such, chief. They egg that on because they love seeing people hurt. I'm not one of those people. If you're wrong, bitch, I'm gonna cuss you out. But if I know you're sincere and you need some help, I'm gonna say, look here, nigga, you wrong, but you sincere, you need some help. Let's see what we can do to help you. People don't do that no more. And it happens within our community. They ain't got to go outside of our community to get people to hurt us. All they got to do is get a damn Negro. She thinks she get ready to be moving up to the top. See, that's why I talk about funny. What's up, Gangster Williams, y'all? What's up to is that? I think that's the real one because he been in here before. What's up, Gangster? Y'all be looking at his channel. And so that's what I say about funny. The lady in Atlanta, the DA. Funny was liked by a lot of the people from within Atlanta. Funny stood to go far. Okay. And so what happens is you'll get people when they see that you have the ability to go far, you'll start getting people around you that are yes people. And see, that's a setup right there. That's a setup. So they'll start getting around you being yes people because see, they really start getting jealous of you. When you start getting a bunch of yes people around you, that's a dangerous thing. Because what they'll do is they'll start setting you up. Nothing you do is wrong. I don't want nobody around me that don't tell me when I'm wrong. Hell, and oftentimes when they tell me I'm wrong, they ain't got to tell me because a person know when they wrong. Okay. This funny got too ambitious. They started telling Funny to go up against Trump. They started telling her go up against Trump. Funny, I believe Funny did it because she got ambitious and she felt like it would help her because she could have went further when she left the DA's office. She could have went into Congress. She could have went into to be a state representative. She could have went into the Senate. Most lawyers do. They knew that she could do that because of her popularity. She started getting people around her that started egging her on and telling her the wrong stuff. Nobody in their right damn mind would ever try, especially a DA in Atlanta, in their right mind would ever try to go up against somebody that used to be the president of the United States, that has connections with the CIA. Have y'all ever been around ex-CIA agents? I told y'all they hang around at the federal building because of their expertise. They start contracting them in. They barbaric. It ain't good to know all the stuff them folks know. Okay? Somebody who still has contact with people that was in the FBI, and her hands were not clean. So I'm gonna tell you what they did was funny. They immediately started probably tapping her phones. That's how they knew what she was doing. They knew all the dirt was at. Hey, he's probably hired somebody to start following her. With the type of access that Trump got, he ain't have to hire nobody to follow her. He could get some of his people to tap into her TV. So they tricked her, and all the people that egged her on to go up against him. I ain't saying he shouldn't have went, they shouldn't have went up against him. I'm saying I would have told him you get somebody else with some more power to go up against him, not just one person. When she saw it was just her and nobody was backing her, she should have known it was a setup. Okay? She should have known that it was a setup. And then look at what happened. Everybody turned on her, even her so-called friends, the people that was egging her to go up against him because it was a setup, right? But it happened because she got too ambitious. And so that's why I say you have to have people around you, not people that try to hold you back from doing good, but people that's gonna say, no, I don't think you should do that. No, it ain't time to do that. Because I've had people say, I'm gonna get such and such. I start, I don't know. You need to reassess that. It ought to be another way you can walk that down because that person kind of got a whole lot of power. You want to walk that down another way. You don't want to be the first one to attack because they're gonna whoop your ass cat raggedy. Okay. That's why I say when you're in the, it goes back to a lot of people that are around these rappers. Don't y'all know how many people that God has allowed me to work with? When you working in the police chief's office, the police chief, it's lonely at the top. I had a daddy that was an elected official. It's lonely at the top. My dad stayed stressed out. He stayed stressed out. He always had people throwing daggers at him because people always shooting for the person at the top. They stayed trying to put a knife in his back because they wanted his position, but they couldn't handle his character. That's why I say my favorite saying is, in order to do what I do, you got to do what I do. These folks killing folks because they want their position and they ain't even got the character to carry the water that they carry to have that position. Okay. And so, um, when you work in the chief's office and you got the chief that's over these officers and stuff, and they go, Miss Tamara, I think I'm gonna do such and such. Thank God, all but one of the chiefs that I work with was very humble. I think I'm gonna do this, and I want you to write up the paperwork, and then they will have some conviction because they listening to their lieutenants and all of these supervisors that are up under them. And I will go, no, chief, what you think? I don't tell people I don't say nothing until I'm asked. Well, I don't think you should do that. I think you should look into that more. Because, see, unfortunately for the chief, he didn't know that his lieutenants and shit wasn't worth a damn. He trusted them to give him accurate information. But I knew because my ears was, I knew it because I'll be watching them. Maybe you should look into that. Don't just fire that person yet. Okay? Look into that. I'll never forget when I was working in the chief's office. This guy, before his 30 days was up, it was around the Christmas time. We was preparing for our Christmas. Hey, be quiet. We was preparing for our Christmas luncheon. Okay, and in order to the chief's office was always you could never get in. Right, I always had to pop the door. And so I was decorating and stuff like that. And the guy came in. He was real young, about 24 years old, and he was knocking on the window. And one of the lieutenants was standing there helping me. She was like, "Don't let him in. That guy is crazy." They had just fired that boy before his 30 days was up. They had just fired him. I popped the door. And so he says, it was one of the officers. He said, I just went into the human resources and they just fired me. And he just bust out crying. He just bust out crying. Okay. And so when he bust out crying, he was like, they just fired me. It wasn't nothing he could do because he had not even made his probation. And so she was like, the lieutenant was gonna try to get him on up out of there, right? I said, wait, I said, wait a minute, you stand right here. Hold on. I went in there, I said, Chief, it's a young man, it's a young officer in there. He says that they just fired him. He didn't make his 30-day probation. They was mad as hell too. Because they wanted to fire him. They knew it would be hard for him to get to the chief. But I was always taught when you put in positions next to the king, you better open your damn mouth because it ain't just for you. He said, put him on my calendar. I said, well, he says that they told him not to come back. He said, all right, tell him to come on into my office. That boy went into their office. He called over there to the human resource manager. Why did y'all just fire him? Well, he seemed to have anger issues, but he wasn't kissing their ass like they wanted him to. So they was gonna just put the boy out of a job. Okay, the chief called the human resource manager, and when she walked out, she rolled her eyes at me, but it didn't matter to me. She couldn't whoop my ass. And guess what? He was sent back to his job. Okay, the chief said, we're gonna watch you. We're gonna put him on another 30-day probation to watch him, but we're not just going to see, if he improves or whatever, but we're not going to just fire him like that. And guess what? That boy was still there when I left. Okay. Doing very well. That's why I say when folks get into positions, a lot of women work next to powerful men. It ain't for them to be sleeping with them. I'm working next to the powerful man, and they want to influence and manipulate him. A lot of men fall because of manipulation of women that work directly next to them. They want to isolate them so that they can listen to only them. Okay. And so that's why I say, you guys, I know I got into a whole lot of stuff when it's you cannot just stand for what's wrong. People don't like people that stand for what's right. They don't. If they say I'm not gonna choose sides, I'm gonna choose the side of what's right. They will try and attack you. They'll first try to isolate you. They know isolating me don't. They try to do that on here. We're gonna isolate it. Good. You're gonna isolate me. Oh, that's so good. Cause I don't want to be in your group anyway, bitch. Cause you're too low vibrational for me on here telling lies and shit. Fuck you. So they was like, damn, she don't give a damn. YouTube don't pay my bills or nothing. So we're going to go on the attack, and they're gonna regret that. Okay. Anyways, you guys, was justice already served in the Young Dolph's case, or are we just beginning? Are we just beginning? So I want to know if you all think that justice was served. If it ends with, I want to know if you all feel like it ends with Orange Mound, Quet, Straight Drop, and Cornelius. Okay. If you all think that, put one. If you all feels that it's going to be more, that there's more to come, put two. It's just a matter of an opinion. Y'all continuously run the likes up for me, okay? Mr. Parker says he thinks that it's going to end with them. And then Miss J is saying, Miss J, Jesus Loves, Diane, Michelle, Kwame, Dominic, the Black Barbie, Rebecca, Phyllis. Just about everybody else is saying they think it's more to come, and I'm with them on that. I think this is just the beginning. I think it's just the beginning. I think it's a bigger demon than this. And I always say you have to get the roots of a tree, because if you don't get the roots of the tree, like straight drop, Orange Mound Quit and Cornelius are just like the limbs and the branches of a tree. You always have to get the root of the tree, because if they're the ones that's gonna go off the jail, it ain't gonna really just be no justice served, right? So what happens is people with money, they kind of dangle that in people's faces, and they have the right to turn it down. But if they're the ones that's gonna go down for what happened to young Dolph, it's truly not justice served, right? Because the people that actually, I would look at, that's the reason why I said Orange Mound Quit. I always said he was not the mastermind. The mastermind is the person that conceived the idea. Okay, conceived the idea and paid the money. Decided, let's go get some people to do this. And I believe Orange Mound Quit was brought in. Okay, I always said that, right? The mastermind would be the people who had the money, that paid the money, and that wanted young Dolph dead. I think anybody else, the limbs and the branches of the tree just made stupid decisions because they wanted some money. They wanted a come up. Okay, so they made some damn badass decisions. The root of the tree is the problem. That's the problem. And if the root of the tree is not dug up, that's the reason why I like what the federal government does. They get to the money. If the root of the tree is not dug up, the only thing that's going to happen is years are going to go by, a few years, and they think they're going to get away with it. And that tree going to start growing them branches and them limbs again, which means they're going to ruin some more little young dudes. Because people forget. They're going to forget about straight dropping them serving life. Okay? And then they're going to go make the same bad decisions. And it's going to start from the root of that tree that has gotten jealous of somebody else and want to see them knocked down. Okay. So when people say, you all up in street business, I ain't in shit, because I'm not out there in the street trying to collect information about this case. We all just talking about it. Okay. We all just talking about it. It ain't no information that nobody in the street can collect that the folks probably ain't already got. I got a lot of confidence in the federal government. Okay. He says, are we voting too off of emotions, off of what we want and need to happen, or are we basing our votes off of the fact in front of us? I don't think it would be off of emotions, Parker. It's just based off of, it's people that truly believe that there are more folks involved. And it's not based off of emotion. It's really based off of what's obvious. They said Mr. Parker Hagerman. If people didn't see, everybody was looking at Cornelius on the stand and listening to those lawyers, just like we was. That lawyer, Straight Drop lawyer, put it out there, and Straight Drop's lawyer was devastated when they did not call Orange Mound Quit up there on the stand. And you know why? I believe what Straight Drop lawyer funny to me. Y'all know that other little guy that Straight Drop's lawyer was interviewing. He did a cross-examination on the guy who said that he was related to young Dolph. He tried to see, now all the defense has to do is create reasonable doubt. Oh, if I did not holler, that lawyer made me holler so loud. It was so funny to me. He wanted to lead the jury to believe that this guy could have been the one, could have been involved out there that day, right? He was like, I guess we see that you had more involvement That's all, ladies and gentlemen, or ladies and gentlemen, or whatever. Or if I didn't holler, oh, it was so funny to me. He wanted Orange Mountain Quet on the stand because I believe this is what he was going to do. He was going to say that it was Cornelius and Orange Mountain Quet that was out there. See, I think that's all he was banking on was that. That's the reason he didn't have nothing else. That's why I always say he wasn't a good attorney. That's all he was banking on. He wanted them to call Orange Mountain Quet so that he could cross-examine him and put a reasonable doubt in the mind of the jurors to say that it was Cornelius and Orange Mountain Quet that was out there, and they were setting Straight Drop up because Straight Drop didn't want to get Quet a cut of his rap money or something like that. I believe that this is just in my opinion. I believe that's what was going to happen. Because as I say now, defense attorneys play more games because all they have to do is create reasonable doubt. I agree with you, Diane. Me too. Anyway, y'all. Um, hey, listen. I hate that for Straight. I hate Straight Drop allowed them to trick him out of his position. I told y'all what my daughter said. My daughter said, Mom, I'm gonna tell you something, Mama. I ain't gonna tell no stories. If I had met Straight Drop before all of this stuff happened with Young Dolph, if he had tried to talk to me, he fine. I would have talked to him. I said, Oh Lord. I said, I'm telling you. See, that's how I know that they could have, if they meant Straight Drop some good, they could have marketed him to the little girl, to the young girls around his age group, even if he was not that good of a rapper. It's a lot of people that can't rap, but they know how to market them and make the people love them, right? They could have did that for him if they meant him some good. And wherever the girls are, the men are gonna come if they straight. Okay, and some of the gay men coming too because they want. Okay, so um, so I hate that he allowed them to trick him out of his position. All right, because he is a handsome little guy, and he was out there doing things that was not favorable to his livelihood or nobody else's. And so, because he had got so brazen with it, he had to be laid. He had to be stopped. He had to be laid down. But it was unfortunate, because it seems to me that he did some other stuff. Because if we're according to Hagerman, he's being right. He was a absent. And here's the thing about that. You're right. He was a sex predator. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm glad he did meet my baby because I will. Ooh, Lord, stop me. God, please stop me. Because see, I'm gonna tell y'all something. I've gotten many certificates on sex predators. I don't talk about it as much anymore because um they said people be thinking I'm going crazy. Okay. But I've gone to quite a bit of seminars, gotten certificates and stuff as it relates to predators, as it relates to sex predators. I do not like that. I don't like them at all. Okay. Um oof. Mm-mm. The saddest thing in the world is wasted talent. Right. And it was wasted talent and potential. It's sad that he felt like he could come up off of the back of another man, and God was not going to allow it to happen. You cannot build a sand castle. You can't build sand castles because it's not built on a solid foundation. So it was not gonna last anyways. But my thing is if they meant him some good, they wouldn't have dangled that in his face. They would have just signed him. If they thought that he was a hot rapper and he had it going on, he wouldn't have had to go and commit no hits to get signed. I hate that his mind didn't tell him that. Okay. Well, you know how young girls are. They think young men are my. I mean, my girls think Key Glock is very handsome. Who else? My babies think that Key Glock is handsome. They think that child. At one time, they thought Moneybag was handsome. I see. I don't know. Okay, let me stop. I don't know what these girls be. I don't know what these girls be looking at. I don't know what they be looking at. I don't know what kind of the taste of a lot of these young women. I don't know. I think it's got to be the popularity of how they push these rappers in their face. But Key Glock is handsome. He is very handsome. Straight Drop is a handsome little guy. Um, but now money bag is that's questionable. Who else is it that my girls said that was so handsome? And I was like, "Are you kidding me? Jesus, that guy is ugly." What's that rapper's name? I ain't gonna say that because they might be looking. And then she called me ugly. You is ugly. But my girls, I ain't gonna say his name. They think he's so handsome. The Alabama, I never asked him. um, mhm. Who else? Let's see. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm gonna tell you about my girls though. Well, my oldest girl, my baby girl, she's not really, really, really into no rap. She's really like an old soul. When I used to be taking her to school, I get so tickled. I was thinking about that the other day when I would play the whining song "Everything I Touch." And when they would say, when the birds sing, the birds say "twiddly" or whatever. Every time I was taking her to either to pre-K, when she was going to pre-K, she'd be in her car seat. Every time that part came on and she started trying to sound like the birds, I was thinking about that. I got so tickled. I was like, Lord, these kids always been something else. But she listens to like a lot of old school stuff. She get that from me. Cause I'll get in the car with her now, child. She call herself can drive. And she'll have on some music, like some 80s music. And I go, how you know about that? That's what I listen to. That's what I came up on. How you know about that? And then she have them on like her iPod or whatever on. She had them saved on her phone or something. So that she can listen to them. That's the type of music that she download. Not my. Oh yeah, my girls think that CEO Jizzle is very handsome. I haven't heard them say anything about the others. Hey, Kenny, Miss T. Did you get everything straight from your daughter's house sitting? She stole a lot of stuff. I gotta go. I gotta. Hmm She is something else. And then she said, "Mama, you don't even know everything. You got too much stuff. I don't know." I started looking at. I don't know exactly. I don't know everything that she got. I just know like I have my stuff lined up. Like I buy the same thing because I overbuy stuff. I'm weird like that, and I line them up behind each other in my closets. And so that's how I knew she had stole a lot of my stuff because it was just not lined up. It was not full to the capacity. I was like, this old cow got my stuff. I know she got a lot. She opened my Jack Daniel. I've had that Jack Daniel since COVID because I don't drink brown liquor. I was making hot toddies um because of my cold. She opened that up. She opened up Jack Daniel I've had since COVID that I had not touched. She opened up my brandy. She opened up my wine. She was just doing what she wanted to do in my house. They said she's a thief. I'm gonna start a campaign justice for Tamara. I'm telling you, and then gave my youngest daughter my new shirt. I said, "How you get my how you know you all how you get my shirt?" Well, ma, she told me I may as well take it because you probably wasn't gonna wear it. I said, "Ain't this some shit?" Not only did she take what she wanted, she told my youngest daughter to take what she want. Mama ain't gonna wear this. Mama got too much stuff. She not gonna. She get on my nerve. Yeah, she was meddling. She got all of my oils because I buy a lot of face oils. Y'all know I'm fanatical on that, like vitamin E's, vitamin C's, all of that type of stuff. I'm fanatical on stuff like that. Child, she still be bragging about how her skin is glowing. Mama such and such is looking. I think she looking at how my skin be glowing. She got the good shit. That girl make me mad. And her skin has been popping. He said, "Don't bond her out." I think about when I be going over there, working. When I be going to the bonding company and working. I mostly now just go bond out people that I know because I be so busy. But whenever I do go decide to go there and work just on my own, child them girls be wanting them dudes out of there quick. Miss Tambra, have you went and got him out? I go, oh Lord. Child, they I don't know what to think about these girls. I go, well, dog, he in jail for DV. He in jail for DV. Miss Tamra, go and get little Ray out. I go, oh Lord have mercy. I can't. Y'all know my nerves is bad. I go, they gonna let him out. I posted his bond. They gonna let him out. Okay, Miss Terry, they still ain't let Ray out. You know they whine and stuff. They talk like they still ain't let Ray out. I go, oh Lord, I ain't gonna be able to take too much more of this here. Um, he in jail for DV. That means he just whooped her ass cat raggedy and she was trying to hurry up and get him back home. Or he done committed DV on the other girl and he get the other girl he messed with to come and get him out. Phyllis says my grown kids get my bath towel, dish detergent, pots, and pans. And they'll steal all the silverware, Miss Phyllis. They will steal all of the silverware. Good, Dominique. The edge control, because I buy a lot of edge control. They steals all that because you can get the edge control out of Ross's. I buy a lot of good shampoos and conditioners. She stole some of them. I know she did. I just don't know which one she stole, but the area that I have all of my shampoos and stuff. See, you go in Ross's and stack up on the good stuff. It just don't seem as full as it used to be. So I know she got some of those. Mm-hmm. Child is something else. Them girls is something else. My baby was in a store yesterday and she said, Mama, she's on the phone with me. She said, Mama, this man is following me. She a pretty girl. I'm sure he was. She said, I said, take a picture of that motherfucker. I teach them always pay attention. And I got his picture too. Take a picture of him. So finally he walked up to her and asked her something because she recognized he was following her around. Y'all know folks weird. And she took a picture of him. Ladies, be extra careful, and guys too. One of my clients said that he had gone into the grocery store in the Raleigh area that he lives in, and he says he went into the grocery store, and about 2 nights prior there was they had carjacked somebody that went into the grocery store and came out. I know a lot of people are going to be shopping and stuff for groceries and food for the holidays. So be very cognizant. Don't be looking at your phones. Pay attention to your surroundings. So the young dudes pulled up next to him. He got a new truck. The security guard in the store noticed it. When he got ready to walk out, she asked him, was that his truck? The guys had pulled up next to his truck and laid down in their car and was waiting for him. Once he went to his truck, they were going to rob him. They were going to rob him and steal his truck like they had did somebody previously a few nights prior. So they told him to wait until the store. They called the police. And when the police got there, the guys, they had not committed a crime at that point, but the guys drove off and the police trailed him home, okay, to make sure that they were not following him and all of that. So y'all be very careful when you're in these stores. Know that it's a lot of freakos out there, people involved in trafficking, all of that. And folks are desperate now. They snatching up. Let me tell y'all something. The reasons why I don't have any sympathy for these folks that like to break up in these people's houses and steal and stuff like that. Anytime you have young guys that will break up, and it happened right in the Memphis area, that'll break up into an old woman's house that's almost 90 years old and burglarize her home and then take turns sexually assaulting her. People would do anything. I had to contain myself when I said that because I was getting ready to go in. Okay. They'll do anything. So y'all make sure y'all pay attention to your surroundings. Don't let people walk up to you. I know they be saying I'm crazy because I am friendly. I was walking into my office one day. I had gotten there real early. I always keep my gun. I have. Okay, I don't need for people to know what I got. And so I was trying to open the door. I had some stuff in my hand because I was restocking my office. And the guy, he came from out of nowhere. I promise the guy. I normally see everything. I don't know where that guy came from. It was no cars around, nothing. He just popped up. I don't know. He must have been laying in the damn grass. That's the only thing. I was like, dog. I know I pay attention to everything. That when I looked up, that guy was looking at me grinning. He said, "Hey," it shocked me. I said, "Hey." And all of a sudden he started grinning and walking towards me. I said, "Sir, do not walk." No, I said, "Sir, do not walk up on me. Do not walk up on me, please. Please, if you know what's good for you, don't walk up on me." And maybe he wasn't gonna do nothing, but it's just not safe. I said, "I don't know you. Please don't walk up on me like that." It was early, nobody was around. He popped up out of nowhere. I spoke to him, but when he started walking towards me, I couldn't let him get up on me. You don't ever let people get up on you. And ladies, here's another thing. If they're gonna do something to you, don't let them take you nowhere else and do it. Because you know how people get scared. They look at the movies. Bitch, if you're gonna do something to me, you're gonna do it with everybody looking. I'ma act the biggest fool. Women, y'all know we good at acting a fool. If they try to do something to you, you make the biggest scene that you can make. Nigga, if you're gonna kill me, everybody gonna be looking at it. Never let them take you to another location. Okay? You go ahead and do what you're gonna do with everybody looking. We all got to go one day. See, when we came to this earth, we weren't here to stay. Okay? So, but don't let them take you somewhere else and torture you and have their way with you, and they're gonna off you anyways. Because now they did too much. But if you make a scene and say, "Nah, I'm not going with you," and they ain't gonna do nothing but run off fight. Keep your mace around your neck, keep your gun on you. Ladies, get you a holster. Okay, get you a holster where you keep your gun on your leg and on your person, on your hip too. And when you walk out of places, see, I was slipping that day for real. When you walk out of places, when you say, "Well, I got my gun in my purse," one of my friends told me this a long time ago. He's a police officer. He said, "Tam, when you walk out that office, do you have your gun?" I said, "You already know I got my gun." He said, "No, Tam, I'm talking about, do you have it in your hand?" I said, "I didn't think about that." He said, "Let me tell you something. A lot of women have their guns, but then if somebody come at you, you ain't got time to go in your purse." And I didn't think about that because that was around the time I was leaving the office real late. I was like, "Damn, I didn't think about that. Thank you, Green. I wasn't thinking about it like that." It's like, yeah. So now when I get out and walk in, I have that thing. I have it in my hand, and sure enough, when I leave, it's gonna be in my hand because I ain't gonna have to get ready. I'm gonna already be ready. Okay, I'm gonna be like Marcus was on them. Okay. And a lot of ladies don't think about that. They'll say, "Well, I got my gun in my glove compartment." They don't keep it up under they thigh or at hands reach or whatever. They fumbling, going all in their glove compartment, of reaching in the back seat, getting their purse. No, you might want to keep it on you. Whereas, one thing about a coward, they're gonna always run off. They want you to be a victim. They always want you to be a victim. But once they know you ain't gonna be no victim, a lot of times they're gonna run off and because they want to live. Okay, and go get somebody that is a victim. Don't be letting these folks put you all in the back of your trunk and steal your car. Get in your trunk, and you gonna jump in? No, you don't jump in. Okay, you say, "Here, take the keys, take your piss ass on," but I ain't getting in. Why he wants you? If he gonna steal your car, why he wants you in the trunk so he could take you with him? No, you make a scene. Okay. But most of all, be safe during the holidays. Stop looking in these phones. Pay attention to people. See who's following you. When you go home, if you know you're gonna be out shopping, circle around your neighborhood a few times before you go to your house, so you can see who's following you. If they pull into somebody else's driveway, because people get slick like that. See if their ass is going to stay in that driveway. Because a lot of times they'll pull up in the driveway for a few minutes to make you think they're going to that house. Now you see if they're going to get out and go in. Pull over. Call the police. Okay? Call the police and do it like that. If you call some of these precincts, they will come and meet you and follow you home. They'll send a car. If you're scared to go in your house like Yo Gotti was, all you got to do is call the police and they'll come and search your house for you. I have reason to believe that somebody might be in my house or it's something weird about, the way that I left things. They'll go in and search your house. But don't let nobody make you a victim. But you got to be cognizant of your surroundings. People don't pay attention no more. Okay, things happen, but just make sure you're paying attention because a lot of stuff can be prevented. Okay, if you was just paying attention. All right, just know now, folks doing anything. Okay, and it's gonna be like this until people start fighting back and laying their asses down. They worried about the police. No, you need to worry about the people that you're trying to victimize. That's who they need to be worried about. You make them a victim. Don't let them make you one. Anyways, y'all, I gotta run though. I got somewhere I gotta go. But anyways, you guys, I want you guys to please like, share, and subscribe. Okay. I enjoyed being on here with y'all today. Okay. It's always a great pleasure. Okay. Make sure you hit the like button. If you want to support the channel, you can hit up the Cash App or the Super Thanks. I appreciate y'all. Be safe out there. I pray that you have a good day at work. I'm gonna get ready to get out and work. Okay. I love you guys. It has been an absolute pleasure. I'll talk with you later.